SSDs are blazing fast, but they also run really hot. So the real question is, do they actually need cooling? I was already working on this video when JayzTwoCents dropped his own, and his results honestly blew me away. He tested a Samsung 990 Pro with no heatsink and it hit 95°C almost instantly. Even with a motherboard heatsink, it stayed in the mid-80s. But with an active fan cooler, temps dropped all the way into the mid-40s. That got me thinking, how would Orico's new Ice Armor SSD compare? They sent it over with this unique hydrogel heatsink design that's supposed to dissipate heat through evaporation. So today I'm going to test it against a few different cooling options and see if it can actually hold up. First things first, installation. Adding an NVMe SSD is quick and simple. Just slide it into the M.2 slot on your motherboard, press it down flat and secure it with a screw. Once it's in place, your system should pick it up right away. What makes the Ice Armor interesting is its design. Orico uses hydrogel cooling material that absorbs heat and releases it through evaporation. They call it self-evaporating cooling gel. They also have aluminum fins inside the heatsink as well as a thermal controller. The idea is that it provides consistent, autonomous cooling even during extended or high-intensity workloads without the need for a fan. To put it to the test, I stressed the drive with a heavy workload while tracking temps and hardware info. I tried 5 different setups. With no heatsink at all, then using the motherboard's built-in heatsink. Then I tried Thermalright's cooler with the fan unplugged. Then I tried it again with the fan running. And finally, with Orico's Ice Armor cooler. Here's what I saw. On a bare drive, I reached 56°C. With the motherboard heatsink, 53°C. With the Thermalright Passive, no fan running, I got 49°C. And Thermalright Active Fan, I got 46°C. But I also reached 46°C using Orico's Ice Armor. That means in my testing, the Ice Armor matched an active cooled heatsink exactly. And honestly, I'm still in disbelief. Jay's Active Fan setup took his 990 Pro from 85 down into the 40s. And here I'm seeing a passive design tie the same number. So Jay, if you're watching this, I'd love to hear your take on whether this hydrogel can really compete with active cooling. Because my results say it can, but I'm still a bit in denial about it. So if you get a chance to test it, I would love to hear your results. Now I want to point out something important about these results. The reason my temps never went above the mid-50s is because I couldn't get the SSD hot enough. Even in Jay's videos, his active fan cooler could only bring the 990 Pro down into the mid-40s. And that seems to be about as low as you can get inside a normal running PC, just based on ambient temperatures and case airflow. So while the Ice Armor matched the active cooler at 46°C in my testing, I don't think that tells the whole story. If I'd been able to push the drive all the way up into the 90s like Jay did, I'm sure the active fan setup would have had the edge. The problem is I just couldn't get my drive to that point. It would max out in the mid-50s and that's it. I was also running IO meter and Crystal Disk Mark together to try to really stress the drive. That means the benchmark numbers you see in Crystal Disk Mark aren't accurate, since I had multiple things hammering the SSD at the same time. And honestly, I was never able to get the IO meter fully dialed in. After increasing the workloads, I just started running into errors. Even Jay mentioned the IO meter can be tricky to get running properly, and I definitely ran into the same issues. Now let's talk about value. Personally, I wouldn't recommend spending $75 on this SSD. I usually go with something like a Club Crass C910, which runs a little slower but costs about $55 to $60. But here's where I think Orico makes sense. One of the most common SSDs right now is a Samsung 990 EVO. Similar speed, similar price, but it doesn't come with a good heatsink. If I had to pick between those two, I'd take the Orico every time, because the cooling headroom makes a big difference. So while I wouldn't pick this up at full price for every budget build, I do think it's a smart option if you want both performance and cooling without having to add an aftermarket heatsink. Big thanks to Orico for sponsoring this video and sending over their new Ice Armor SSD. If you want to check out their latest innovation in SSD cooling, I'll have links down in the description. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next build.